Okay. I think Luis caught it.
All right.
In time. And here we go. Game 2 begins. X1 intro. I hope we won't have to hear this redundancy, but it's all about holding right and mashing.
Hey, I was gonna say that I was waiting for that to come up,
but yeah. Also the Bs. Like if we get the double passive should be a problem for Luis with his sick mashing. Okay, Lynx gets a good B at the start. Okay, there's the passive that we talked about, but Luis's mashing is so good. He can get the B-Blader to come forward enough to where he only gets one bonk out of the deal. So he's going to take it. So he only took one bonk again. And now he's got plenty of HP for task cars later. We've seen that get a couple of people killed. So let's not discount that either.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Opening level seems easy, and it generally is, but this stage, you know, it can come backfire on you if you're not careful. So right now, early on, pretty even. LuizMiguel's probably like maybe a second ahead, if that. But see how.
Yeah. We still got Val. I mean, the Val spawn, or the Val pattern could be really bad. So they want to get in position when they kill this second car. Luis is there, and Lynx is there. So we're about a second apart. But yeah, we've seen Val jump into left field and just take his time. Okay, he's pretty close for Luis, and the same for Lynx. So we're getting relatively the same difference, about a second apart.
Yeah. A good solid start for both players here in Game 2, as you would expect.
Both players definitely taking their time on these stage selects. They do not want to select the wrong stage.
Seen that happen in a couple of matches. I seem to recall it occurring. Ooh, might have happened in the Nero Fatso by mistake. I think Fatso might have done that by mistake. I know it happened in a fairly recent match. And I think it was an X1, hit the wrong Maverick, played it through, and it was fine, but going out of order did end up costing about 20 seconds.
Okay, right there, I think Luis had a missed jump, and he had another one. So yeah. Lynx has already caught up, and now he's pulled slightly ahead going into the leg capsule. So, yeah. Ooh, and Luis didn't even get, I don't even think he got the slope jump just before the capsule. So now Lynx is frames ahead.
We're ahead. A statistical tie, but yeah, Lynx is fractionally ahead. And I cannot emphasize the meaning of the word fractional here.
Ooh, that's an unfortunate hit there.
Luis having a little trouble with the platforming early on here. Movement not quite as crisp as Lynx, but as you stated before, Chill Penguin has a funny way of resetting these things as far as who's got the lead and whatnot.
And I think they both. Yeah, I think Luis picked up a couple of health, not intentionally, but they're just in the way when you're trying to get through these enemies. Like, if they drop health, you're going to pick it up. There's not really much you can do. So let's see what Penguin does. Penguin, as long as he does the ice breath attack, he can't be knocked out of that attack and be forced to do another action. So you're able to get a couple of quick hits, and you want to see Penguin do the shotgun ice as much as possible.
Yeah, and he's not been very kind to 5 slides now for fslynx.
Yeah, Luis had a great penguin, despite, you know, everything else happened in the stage. So Luis is just right back in front, but we've still got another hour to go.
Yeah. But yeah, good recovery and good RNG for LuizMiguel's got him about 5 seconds in front, I'd say, maybe a little bit more.
And I think a trick that you're going to see these runners do in X1, when they select stages, they're going to use the corner squares of the interface to move around, because you can't select the stage on those corners. So if you accidentally press Y to select something a little too soon, you won't accidentally hit a stage. You'll just hit that little square in the corner. Typically, you'll see that done on most of the stage selects that involve Mavericks in the corners, because they're right next to each other. Going across the interface is risky, because even that large center panel, you can select that, and if whatever stage is listed there or shown there, you're gonna select it. So yeah, and actually there's two ways to select the Maverick stage in X1. You either select the actual Maverick portrait, or if you have a stage picture in the middle there, you select that. So amongst all that discussion about stage selects, this heavily climbing stage has already gone by, and it looks like both of them handled it kind of well. Lynx had a little misstep. Those moving green platforms can eat your dash too, since they move along with you.
Right.
I think if you try to jump on the edge or the middle of it, it eats your dash. Yeah,
Lynx had a few minor hiccups here and there. Luis overall was a little cleaner, I think, but very nicely done by both players.
Yeah, they're getting the dance here, the infinite. Try to keep that going as long as Kuinger keeps charging at him. And then just stay in the middle of the screen, and then Kuinger will just appear in front of you or behind you. You just have to fire accordingly.
Yeah, good fight from both players. And yeah, as you said, you want to finish in the middle of the arena. This is the only X game where that matters, a la Mega Man 3. Because otherwise Mega Man goes along to the center of the arena if you're not there. Sting Chameleon up next. Probably, I'd say this is the shortest of the Mavericks in X1.
I would say that's probably just about accurate. There is an argument for Armadillo, since you really don't do anything while you're on the cart. But you could argue that this is probably the shortest stage, but when you have to go through that cave with all the falling boulders, it kind of delays it.
Luis helping himself to that extra life there. He almost actually took a dip into the...
Yeah, I was about to mention, he about fell into that pit. Sometimes those boulders will hit you in just the strangest places, and it can actually knock you into the pit if it's in the wrong spot. And Lynx actually took a couple of hits as he was just trying to jump in the air, and he just gets denied. If you had the helmet upgrade, that wouldn't matter, but since you don't, that is a possibility.
Yeah. So Sting Chameleon underway here. Pretty simple fight.
Yeah.
Rinse and repeat. Or just repeat. I don't think there's any rinsing involved. Just shoot.
Yeah, the rinsing was earlier in the stage when he went through the swamp, remember?
Yeah.
That's the rinse.
Fair enough. Rinse and then repeat, repeat, repeat. So, very good fight from both players as we 3 down already. Up to Storm Eagle, which can be the most dangerous from a platforming standpoint in X1, especially if they're going to go for the optimum strats.
Yeah, Death Kick is something a few people do, and they get it kind of well, but I really don't expect to see it at a high level, but you know, I've been proven wrong a few times.
Well,
it's so costly if you die. Why go for it?
Yeah.
See, Luis doesn't go. Luis doesn't go for that.
Yeah. So if anyone were to go for it, it'd probably be Lynx, just to try and save a couple of seconds if he can. But again, if he misses, though, oh boy, that's a very deep hole to try and dig yourself out of. He doesn't go for it either.
Yeah, it's a 4-frame kick to save 20 frames, and you lose probably 45 seconds if you die.
Yeah. So, Storm Eagle, another RNG-heavy Maverick. See how many dives we get here. Hopefully none.
How long does he flap his wings at the start? It looks like he flapped them for a long time, so that's good. So we're going to see probably 3 dives from Luis. Yep, 3. That's really the key. The very start is the key to the whole fight. You see, Storm Eagle only flapped his wings for a very short time, and now Lynx is going to get potentially a lot of dives, but okay, Eagle appears immediately, so that actually worked out okay.
Yeah, so still not as fast as LuizMiguel's fight, but overall ended pretty nicely for Lynx. I mean, could have been a lot of dives and a lot of wasted time, or a lot of lost time, I suppose. The more accurate in that case. Still pretty close early on here. Go into Mandrill stage.
So yeah, Spark Mandrill is a very tough stage, execution-wise, because you have the Zam hallway where you're swapping between Buster, Ice, and then you have to set up for the Thunder Slimer fight with Storm Tornado or Boomerang Cutter, and you pretty much have to play the fight by ear depending what Thunder Slimer does. If he stays on the ceiling, you kind of have to use a little bit of the Boomerangs and the Storm Tornado, but if he decides to drop to the bottom of on the floor, you can simply shoot him with the Boomerangs. The Boomerangs deal a little bit more damage to Thunder Slimer than the Storm Tornado does, as you see. And if Thunder Slimer decides to bounce around like he did for Lynx there, that's really bad, because then you can only fire 3 Boomerangs on screen at any time, and if all 3 miss, you pretty much have to wait until a Boomerang comes back before you can fire another one.
Worked out, all things considered, not too bad for Lynx, but definitely slower than what LuizMiguel got. And so now we're about a full boss fight difference between the two, as Miguel finishes off Mandrill as Lynx is about to fight him. Pretty simple fight, but the gap is slowly widening in the two runners.
Yeah. But we've seen Armadillo roll forever. So I mean, we can't write that off.
No. And given that the RNG has generally been less kind to Lynx than to Luis, I think he's due for something kind of swing back in his favor a little, just a little, not a lot, but chat saying 23 seconds. That's about right. So I only do the splits after each game. So, but thank you for that. Some say Armadillo is still rolling to this day. Well,
Luis gets the nice shotgun ice snipe shot there. If you fire the shotgun ice at just the right spot and continue your dash speed, you spawn the mace guy there as the ice is on the edge of the frame, so you can actually, just like you do the gun vaults in Storm Eagle with the ice, it's the same concept where you know, the ice spawn, the enemy spawns over the ice, and then the ice splits into additional fragments, and the fragments themselves will hit inside the hitbox.
Good fight from LuizMiguel on Flame Mammoth. Lynx is underway, so again, we're still about a full boss fight difference, so we head into Armadillo will be 7th, and then Octopus 8th. So, in a way, I got potentially the 2 most dangerous Mavericks for last here.
Yeah, it looks like right now the only difference has been Eagle and Penguin.
Yeah,
I think Thunder Slimer. I didn't see Thunder Slimer for both players.
It was better for Luis. He didn't get the bounces like Lynx did.
Yeah, that's been the difference so far. Just mostly RNG. Execution for the most part has been the same.
Yeah, it's been Lynx has had some better spots. He was better in Chill Penguin, but Miguel was better in Kuwanger, especially going up.
And so, Luis getting another 1-up drop there, just out of the wild blue.
And a health pickup as well. It's like Lynx having a little trouble getting himself settled there.
Okay, Luis had to re-kick off the side to get dash speed, so he could get in front of the Moboro, so he can keep going.
There's another extra life, man.
This is not Mega Man 5, people.
Well,
it's not.
Well,
all right. Let's see what happens here for Luis. Am I gonna get to play the music? Nope, not yet.
Yeah, a little kazoo music. Okay.
So yeah, Armadillo only did a couple of bounces, so that only is like maybe a second. Not a big deal. It's if he does it forever and forever and forever, it gets to be a problem, because you can't get rid of his armor until he stops that. Oh, okay, Luis is the better Armadillo. Okay, I get to put the phone. I get to put Limp Biscuit away for maybe for the last time. Well, I had it ready just for the comedy relief.
Well. So, come to launch Octopus, which can be a real chore. Ooh, wow.
Okay, yeah. If you barely make that jump normally, it looks like Luis jumped a fraction too soon and almost died for it.
That would have brought them up to almost even. He still would have been ahead, but man. So.
Okay. Luckily, the checkpoint, the midpoint, is just before the second mini-boss. So we got this gauntlet of missiles. Okay, Luis just takes a hit, doesn't get the RNG in his favor. So that's what you got to do. You just got to tank a hit and just get through. You just can't wait for the torpedoes to disappear, because they may not.
So launch it. Now we come to launch Octopus, who can and has ruined some races, people.
So yeah, these next few seconds are going to be key for both players. How close will this race be coming out of X1? Because I do not believe, no sub tanks were. Oh, Luis missed the grab release setup there, and now he's getting tornadoes.
Uh-oh.
This is Luis's chance to, or not Luis, but Lynx's chance to kind of bring it close.
Finished at 19.
If he gets good RNG.
Luis finished at 1906. So looks good.
Nice. Okay, nice. Lynx finishes with a 1924. So it looks like he's going to make up a little bit.
So yeah, so 18 seconds. So but as is.
Okay, the worst part is over for Lynx now. I think he's going to be okay. Finishing this out without a death, hopefully.
Hopefully. So yeah, so there's a as per the rules, a 30-second waiting period between games. Out of deference to those who play on console and versus emulator, and also gives you a chance to set your controls if you so choose. I think both players did in this case. So
yeah, both players here do not use default controls. So
I think that's generally true for most of the races I've seen. Everybody does have their own preference as far as how they want to set up their controls. I don't think very many do use default.
Yeah, I'm one of the few players that use default controls, but I did not enter this tournament. But in general, I'm one of the few defaulters out there. I think, remember, this is only a 24 Maverick tournament, not an any percent tournament. So, they only fight the Mavericks and then go on to the next to the next game. No ending stages.
Right. It's very much it's exactly like the 46 Robot Master Tournament from 2016, which did Mega Man 1 to 6. So very much in that tradition, and it's an interesting way to play the games for sure. And from what I've seen and heard from other runners, it's been very well received by many. Really enjoyed playing the games this way.
Ooh, Luis misses a wall grab there. Not really an issue. You have to wait for the elevator to rise up enough to where you can proceed anyway.
Right.
So you kind of get like a time buffer there to get on the wall.
Yeah.
And Luis gets some pretty good weather patterns too. This is a small little time differential in this stage too. Lynx is getting rain, which will slow him down a little bit because he's got the rain pushing against him. Whereas Luis had the sun. It looks like Lynx will get the sun here at the end. Ooh. Okay, Lynx made it through. All these sections here have those spike pits, so you gotta watch out. So for Sponge, you want to keep hitting Sponge with Dash Lemons for 2 damage until he gets right at the 10 HP threshold, and then you want to see him do that attack that he just did for Luis. Because that way he cannot go into the invincibility attack until he reaches the ground again. But by that time, you should kill him before he has the chance. And you also have to kill some of these thorns, because if he has 4 of them deployed, he's instantly going to come down if you do not destroy any. So you'll see them destroy the first 2, and then they'll let the last 4 come down.
Oh dear. Poor Lynx. He gets Berserker mode.
Yeah, the Rain Dance is punishing, but now he's also at low HP, so he can't deboost to try to get free hits. He has to wait for Sponge to throw his chain before you can actually hit him. So not only did he lose time on the Rain Dance, he also lost additional time because he had to wait. Because he can't risk a death. Sponge Contact is 6 damage. He probably could have went up and took 1 hit from the strike chain, but there was no guarantee that he was going to make it out of there.
No.
Ahead of time.
So this is the only light capsule they're going to visit in X2. Get weapon upgrade, so they can do some of the more advanced movement strats, particularly after well, certainly with Strike Chain, but also I think definitely with the Flame Stag.
Well, just having the Charge Buster is helpful not only for using the Charge Burner and the but a lot of the boss fights are a lot faster with charged weapon strats as opposed to not picking up the Buster at all.
Right. So yeah.
So it definitely saves a lot more time than it takes to actually get it.
Yeah. Yeah, with X3, if you can do the dash strats without the air jump, you're ahead, but it's just a fairly tight window. X2, yeah, definitely here. So it's kind of a mix between any percent and low percent, and as far as that goes, it's the way you play these.
Luis gets that triple chain into the door. That's one of the sickest strats in X2 is to get that over the cannon driver and not touch the floor.
Yeah, a little bit of sleight of hand there, almost kind of like just slipping past. But so the wheel gator fight goes for Yep.
One cycle. Got to hit that 5-frame window 10 times, and it's not easy. Especially when you're buffering the first chain, and then you're keeping your charge going for the charge chain. Getting the hits after the charge chain is the hard part because you got to turn around to despawn the chain. Oh, Lynx did not get it. Because that large chain does lag, so as soon as you hit Gator with it, you instantly turn around to despawn it. Ooh. Now this is starting to get bad very quickly.
Yeah. The time he did make up in Octopus has been erased and then some with two very bad boss fights.
The time was erased back in Sponge, but alas, okay, Lynx is through, so we've still got a game and a half. So we just have to wait and see.
Still plenty can happen. Can and will happen.
Luis didn't have the Beatron spawn as he climbed the outside of the volcano, so that just reduces like maybe a tiny bit of lag. But you don't need to go after the sub-tank here anyway. Sometimes that Beatron will spawn, and sometimes it won't. It just depends, I guess, on your approach to the volcano at the start.
Chat saying 55-second difference between the runners at this stage. Yeah, two bad boss fights. Who knew that could swing 37 seconds? And his movement, it wasn't quite as crisp, particularly in Gator. He had some bad RNG with Sponge's level as well, but man. Now, underway with Stag here for LuizMiguel. Lynx getting started with Flame Stag.
Yeah, Luis taking down Stag in the same manner he did before. No shame in playing it safe. You definitely don't want to get aggressive. When Stag gets low enough HP, his desperation phase, his flame antlers will turn blue. So then he can start grabbing you and suplexing you if he grabs you. And that's pretty bad, because he can easily kill you if he gets a hold of you.
Yeah, Lynx had a hard time getting up through the final vertical corridor there. Yeah, actually had to stop and take a health upgrade because he was getting hit too much.
Yes, Luis, I think, has won every MMX tournament that he's played in. Yeah, he's won them all.
So we're gonna have to start spotting him handicaps or something.
Luis beat Nero in the X1 tournament. I think the X1 tournament was a Hundo tournament. I think the last one. I think he won the Any one as well. I can't even remember. He did win the X2 tournament when he beat Trogdor. He won the X3 tournament by beating, I think it was Raul. And yeah, he looks like he's going to win this one.
We got one more. We got one more to go after this. Barring any remarkable setback for Luis, he will move on and face Nero X2 for the championship.
Yeah, have another rematch with Luis and Nero. Like Nero can take down Luis. Don't think, just because Luis has won all the tournaments doesn't mean he's unstoppable. He can be stopped.
Yeah.
There's only one person that can stop LuizMiguel, and that's LuizMiguel. That's it.
Yeah. So we got so now we come to Moth, and this
so yeah, it looks
can be dangerous.
Yeah, Luis just making short work of the cocoon, and the adult is going to go down instantly like that.
Yeah.
And he gets right up in Moth's face, too. Like,
yeah,
Moth is the most damage-dealing Maverick, period. And it doesn't matter if you have the body armor or not. It deals 8 damage. It's so brutal.
Yeah, but Luis finishing at point blank range. And that's half of, we're officially at the halfway point as far as number of Mavericks. That's 12 out of 24. He's did it about 30-20 or so. Making very good time. And hasn't really made any outright mistakes. A few minor platforming hiccups here and there, but overall very clean and very good execution from LuizMiguel. Lynx underway now with Moth. See how this goes for him. Magma Centipede underway for LuizMiguel.
Okay, Luis burnering his way through those falling blocks, and now he's setting up for the chop register kill. He's going to swap to Silk as soon as he gets in the chop register's Hilt's face, just like that.
Yeah. Great fight, by the way, from Lynx on Morph Moth. That was very good. Very clean.
I think Luis shot one of his burners a little early. He had to swap off of it just so he could conserve that last bit of energy for this hallway here. So now Luis is wanting to see the tailspin immediately. If not, he has to wait either to him to do it, or he's just gonna hit him and hope that he does it the next time. So as you see, if Centipede gets launched into the air off the ground like that, he's gonna teleport every time. But if he does this move, he's not gonna teleport, and if he does the tailspin, he won't teleport when he takes damage. So then he slides on the wall there to get the tailspin to glitch out. And now Centipede is stuck in this move. Until that tail corrects itself, he's completely vulnerable, and there's nothing Centipede can do. Before that glitch was found, this fight was so hard, and it was a huge discrepancy, even bigger than Sponge. But now that the tailspin glitch has been discovered, like, you're just waiting for that attack, and then as long as you can do the glitch, or get the glitch to happen, it's a very easy fight. So let's see what happens for Lynx here. Looks like Lynx is getting the same thing he got before. And now, whenever Centipede teleports, he can teleport up to 4 times before he decides to stop. Ooh, the ceiling tailspin. You can get the tailspin glitch and can get the damage dealt just like on the floor. It's just a little harder to do. Oh, they're saying this is the bad thing. The more health that Centipede loses, the more wiggles you have to do to get out of that tail grab that you're seeing.
Ugh.
So if his HP is all the way down to 1, you have to do like 32 D-pad inputs and/or / button presses to get out of that. It's so hard to do it in a very little time. So that's why the tailspin glitch is really important for that fight, because you bypass that in particular.
So we have a full stage difference at this point. The bosses have just been terrible for fslynx too. I mean, man, they weren't great in X1, but they've been much worse in X2.
Yeah, not getting the tailspin glitch really can set you back, especially if you have to deal with teleports and what you saw on Lynx's side. But when the RNG just goes your way, like it's been doing that for Luis the whole time, it's hard to beat that. So we're gonna focus on Lynx for a minute, coming up to the snail fight. What's going to happen is he's going to enter the fight with the second neon shot. And then as the fight begins, he's going to buffer a lemon. And then after that lemon, he's going to hit him with the neon shot. And then Snail's going to retaliate with his Crystal Hunter attack. And then Lynx is going to dash under it, do another dash lemon. And then he's going to rush up and bonk into him intentionally so he gets iframes so he doesn't get froze by the crystals again. Like that. And then he's going to hit... Oh, he missed the magnet. But he's going to hit him with the magnet. And he's going to place one behind. Or he may not be able to. Yeah. Snail has to be on the one end of the screen to do the setup correctly. If he's in the middle, you don't have time to do it. Because whenever Snail gets ejected from a shell, he's going to go right for the shell again. He's going to ignore X until he gets a shell back. Because whenever you hit a Maverick with their true weakness, they always do a specific thing afterward.
Meanwhile, Miguel had a very good overdrive ostrich level and fight. About as clean as you could ask for.
Yeah. If you're an X2 any % runner and you pick up this category, it's basically the same thing, except you don't pick up any items except for the Buster upgrade. It's exactly the same thing almost. You may have to do your stage order a little differently, but all the strats are basically the same.
Mm. So Miguel is down to the 16th Maverick here, Bubble Crab. Looks like he's going to be done before about 38, 30, mid 38, low 39 it looks like. Oh.
Ooh. Luis actually touched the gate before it actually opened, so he lost his burner speed that he had set up to go down. Yeah, the way he sets that up, he sets it up to that as soon as he falls toward the gate's going to open just before he actually lands. So he wanted to maintain his burner speed as he fell through the water, but he touched the ground, or if you touch anything, you lose your speed. So that was kind of unfortunate.
Yeah. Good fight from Lynx on Ostrich. Keeping to about a 1-stage difference between the runners. We get ready for X3 here after Miguel finishes off Bubble Crab.
Oh, looks like Luis almost got the Gameo Crab, but I think that second charge wheel was a little off.
So
but nonetheless, he's through X2, and he's about 25 minutes from advancing to the finals.
Yeah, he did it in 38:27. That's really terrific time. So he's got his 30 seconds are up, and here we go. X3, which as Justin pointed out before the start of Game 2, this is Luis's actually his specialty. This is his best game, and so it's his to lose at this point without question. He knows this game the best and has the records, so we'll see.
Yeah.
What he can accomplish here.
Just for the record, Luis does hold the low percent record, and for the 24 Mavericks section of X3, it is exactly like low percent. So you're going to see Luis in his element.
Lynx underway with Bubble Crab here. So that's 40:03 for fslynx. So about 96 seconds between the two runners going into X3 here, and see our one and only appearance of Zero as a playable character.
One thing we haven't discussed is that when you play as Zero during the intro here, when he does that long climb, you see Luis actually uses the saber into the wall. If you saber and then jump right at the same time, Zero gets a little bit of a boost on his jump. So what ends up happening is that he does that, since when you use the saber, you don't have any control until he puts the saber away, but since that mace ball comes down and hits Zero, it knocks him out of his saber animation, and Luis is able to damage boost into the wall so he doesn't lose any height, and he's able to keep going. It just saves like a few frames. And a good CF or a good Mo fight there from Luis. One of the things we haven't talked about in X3 is inputs. Whenever X turns around or lands, for the first frame, after he lands or changes direction, a jump or a shot input will not be accepted. I don't know if a dash input counts either, but there's been times where, like, if you move too optimally, nothing happens, and that has gotten a couple of runners in trouble. We've seen a couple of people die from it. So that's just one of the quirks of X3 that you gotta watch out for, is dropped inputs. That you press the button, but the action you wanted didn't happen, and then you end up yelling at the game why, and it happened. That kind of happens.
You wouldn't think being too optimal would be a bad thing, but such are the realities we live in. And speaking of realities, now we get to deal with Blizzard Buffalo and his unique AI.
Yeah, he only wants to be in the air when Buffalo turns around to look at X, and then you see he goes right back into the wall. And if you figure out the timing, you can actually keep him in that pattern the whole fight.
As is demonstrated here. Very nice fight from LuizMiguel.
And the Mavericks in X3 and some of the enemies, they deal a lot of damage if you touch them. So Buffalo deals 6 damage on contact, just like Chill Penguin in X1 and such. But there's a couple of attacks that deal more. The Tiger Claw Swipe deals 8. I think that's probably the worst one of the bunch.
Yeah, certainly the one that is most likely to come into play if everything goes correctly for our runners. So Miguel underway in Toxic Seahorse. He skipped, as he did in Game 1, the dash boots. Lynx is going to go for them.
Yeah, Lynx is just playing, what he's comfortable with. There's no reason to go out of your comfort zone. Because, skipping the air dash capsule may save you that time. I think it saves maybe 10 or seconds or so. But if you can't do the sections that normally are a lot easier with the dash boots without them, then you're just giving that ton back, and then maybe more.
Right. And Luis can do his strats pretty consistently without them, but as you say, not a great start for Lynx here.
Yeah, same thing happened. He didn't get the manipulation, and now Buffalo is just doing his own thing. It's hard to get him back on cycle. Like, see, Lynx tried to do it again, but didn't have any luck. I think maybe he timed his air dash a little soon.
So he's got it now, so yeah, that's good.
He's got it now.
But no, not the best fight for him, but he pulls it off and is holding serve, relatively speaking, as far as the gap between the two runners, which is about a full stage at this point. As Miguel gets ready to start his Toxic Seahorse fight.
Oh, 3 cycle. So yeah, the way the Seahorse fight works is that whenever he's hit with his ice, he has a fixed period of where he's stunned, but that period begins as soon as he's hit. So if he's hit in the air, he has to drop to the ground, and then he has to be on the ground for a specific amount of time before he jumps out of it. So there is a period where those two frame windows are separated, and within that point is where you mash the ice, because his iframes will expire, but he's still stunned on the ground before he jumps out, and that's when you mash your finger really hard to get those ice in. And then you want to let him jump again so that you can repeat that cycle. If you hit him on the ground with the ice, then you kind of have to let him do 2 jumps before you can attempt the quick kill method again. Tunnel Rhino. Here we go. So now the stage for Luis is basically just like 100% because you don't have anything when you enter the stage normally in 100. So you get to draw upon a lot of your muscle memory from different categories to play this category. But the difference is you've got the bit fight here, but you do have the ice for that. Right.
And it probably for Luis doesn't make a whole lot of difference, but you actually kind of don't want to see Bit in Tunnel Rhino just because it's going to make the rest of this a little more difficult, especially to take damage.
So Luis gets through that fight unscathed, so it looks like he won't have a problem. Let's see if he gets the boulder skip. Yep, he gets it again. Oh, and he gets to jump this time. That's a tight jump to get. Normally you have to take the opposite wall, but he just sticks to the left side. That's really hard. So yeah, you see Luis just lets the tank come to him, and then he's going to jump on it, and then boom. That actually minimizes Luis's attention on the D-pad, because since he's on the tank, he can just sit there and just transfer his fingers over to his Y button and just alternate with the double mash. So yeah, since X is on the tank already, he doesn't have to worry about moving. So normally you've got your left thumb on the D-pad, and then he's got his right thumb on the fire button. But now that he doesn't have to worry about moving him, he can just position his thumbs over to the Y button and just alternate. It looks like Turbo, but that is not Turbo. That is all him. So we're going to see if this Rhino fight goes the way I expect. Here, this next acid hit, he's going to try to jump over. Okay, like that. He takes a D-boost intentionally. When you don't have the air dash, it's a little different. Ooh, right there. If you get touched while Rhino is in that rainbow charge, it causes some lag. But, yeah, you want to minimize the length that Rhino's in his desperation charge, just because you can't damage him while he's in it.
So, Lynx also getting a bit in Tunnel Rhino. I didn't get here in time, but did they... Ooh, that's unfortunate. Did they sync up with their fight, their bit and bite fights, as far as what levels they appeared?
Yeah, bit has appeared for both players already, so we know who's ahead and by how much.
Right. So, yeah, bit can appear in stages 3 to 5, and that's completely random. But again, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. But it's probably best if you don't fight him in Rhino, just because you have to juggle.
Rhino is a lot scarier when you have to deal with bit. The preferred stage is actually Catfish, in my opinion. But, you know, he's going to appear when he's going to appear. There's nothing you can do about that.
Link's taking a little more damage than LuizMiguel did on the mini-boss.
Now that I think about it, in 24 Mavericks, probably Crawfish is the better stage. Because Crawfish is fairly short, and you really are not in any danger of dying.
Right.
Yeah, Catfish is a lot more intensive.
Yeah, Catfish definitely can have his moments, and the stage itself can be a little tricky at times, although wouldn't know what to play. LuizMiguel's been playing it.
So, let's see how Catfish does for Luiz this time. So he's going to hit him with 8 Buster charges to get him exactly at 16. But as soon as he goes into 15 or less, the very next time that he does his attack cycle, he's going to jump to the middle of the screen. So we may see Luiz intentionally wait this right here. Here's 16. Now he didn't jump at all. Sometimes Catfish will just jump an additional time if you're still in front of him. Or he'll just stop and do the ground spark or try it or whatever. Depends what direction he's facing. If Catfish doesn't have a lot of space between himself and the wall if he turns around, he'll likely just shoot the ground spark. But if he's got that space to work with, he'll actually shoot the triad. And that's actually what you want, because the longer he is out of his desperation phase, the more time you've got to get those very fast buster shots. Because a charge buster is a lot faster than a drill for the same amount of damage. And on average, you get about a 5 drill Catfish. Luiz getting the 2 drill from the last game was actually really good luck, and that's not often you see that.
Still at about a full stage difference between our runners here. LuizMiguel is comfortably ahead. He was ahead by about over a minute and a half after X2, and that's really where the huge gap came from. fslynx had some terrible luck with some of the bosses in X2, and also had some missed execution chances, particularly with Wheelgator, that has helped us bring it to where it is now. Otherwise, he's played very well, but LuizMiguel has just been on point the entire game.
In fact, every boss in X2 went bad for Lynx, whereas Luiz had pretty much perfect luck, or almost perfect luck.
Yeah.
Luiz did not get Angry Sponge. Lynx did, and then some. Lynx missed the one cycle gator. The centipede fight was especially long. He missed the quick kill on Snail, and the crab fight was actually long.
Yeah. Like the only fight, I think, as you said, probably actually the only fight that went cleanly for Lynx was probably Ostrich.
And Moth.
And Moth. Yeah, Moth was probably the only fight he actually probably did a little better than LuizMiguel did.
So you see, when you force to fire the drills on Catfish, it takes 3 seconds before you can hit him again. That's how long his iframes are in the desperation phase. Or actually, any time you hit him with the drill, it's 3 seconds. So that's why it's very imperative that you get as many buster shots as possible. Okay, Luis is gonna fire a shot here. That keeps that dragonfly that he jumped off of from moving away a lot faster to allow him to get that jump. Since he doesn't have the air dash, he cannot use the simple dragonfly zip that you normally see in X3 any %. So you kind of have to improv that. So you do so by doing that trick, plus you break out the acid and take out that dragonfly. And there's the one cycle worm quick kill that Luis did not get in the last game.
So, fight is also now in play as we're in the 6th Mavericks stage. So he could appear in this stage, Beetle or Blast Hornet. It largely doesn't matter as much as Bit does, but
yeah, it doesn't matter at all, really.
Yeah, it's maybe probably not in this stage because if you get into a tussle with Tiger, you want to keep your health up, as much as possible. But it's not going to be in this stage, so it'll be Beetle or a Hornet for LuizMiguel.
Something, a little new strat, as Luis exited that bit and bite room, he just stood in place and just kicked off the bottom of the door. When you go through a door, normally when you dash like that, you're still within the 7-pixel window of technically a wall. So you just hold dash in place and you hit jump twice to get a quick little low kick. So you don't actually have to jump into the wall to kick off of it, which is a frame saver. Ooh, okay. Luis got that charge shot off a little late. It made Tiger bring his guard up. Okay, we're going to see the blades. Okay, he got it off. I thought Tiger was going to go into desperation there.
Good
but
fight.
He didn't.
2 good fights from our players. Two to go for LuizMiguel on his way to finals, where he'll face, if he pulls this off, and almost certainly will at this stage, he'll face Nero X2 for the championship. fslynx will get to play in a 3rd place match against Colonel Fatso. So his tournament is not officially over, so he'll get one more shot at this to finish on a high note.
Yeah, I think the 3rd place match and the finals match are going to be probably the best balance because little history before the seedings began for this tournament, Lynx actually got a PB better than Fatso to get a higher seeding, like at the last second. And at that point, their PBs were about the same. But Fatso's improved his PB a little bit since then. I believe Lynx has 2, but I can't remember exactly what their PBs were. So that should be an even match. And the Nero Luis presumed matchup will be just as good.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, Nero still has a mid 103. But that's still good. I mean... When you get to 102, basically comes down to luck, like your boss luck. That does account for a lot of the time saves.
Yeah. MMX pointing out LuizMiguel's PB is 102.56. So, maybe?
We won't know. I won't know until Luis exits his Beetle if he's on PB pace here.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really get to look at his timer. Just have to see. Oh, nice. Okay. Luis there with that wall cancer. What he does, he uses the drill to deactivate the wall cancer's hitbox, just so that he can get to the wall to deboot to actually deboost off the wall when those iframes expire. So when the hitbox comes active, he's against the wall, so he deboost cancels, so he can kick off without losing any height. There's a very technical strat that's actually new. Since you don't have the up dash, normally you would just up dash up to the upper ledge, but since you don't have it, you kind of have to go to that wall.
Looks like he is.
I think if you're looking at the leaderboards hasn't been kept up to date for that category. I do know Fatso has a 103 for 24 Mav. It just isn't updated on the leaderboards.
Okay. So down to this home stretch for LuizMiguel is underway in Blast Hornet. So he fought Bite in Gravity Beetle stage, so it's going to be down to the mini bosses and Hornet, and see if he can go sub 103 here. He finished game 1 at 103.24.
I don't think I've seen Luis fight Bite yet, so he's got to deal with that here, I think. I can't remember.
Luis did fight Bite in Beetle, so
okay.
He's set there,
I missed it.
Yeah, Lynx has not fought Bite yet.
Okay, so yeah, this is actually looking good for Luis then. I think he is on record pace. Maybe.
Gonna be close.
Yeah, I think he's on pace. He's gotta book it. He's gotta book it though. He's gotta really put the accelerator on.
Yeah, Chad saying
actually, yeah, he's not gonna make it. Like you've got the fight's gonna take about 18 seconds, and then you've got to deal with he's just gonna miss record pace, but this is still like too good.
Yeah, this is in a race setting. That's incredible to be that close.
Oh, he missed the Buster and the Triad by accident. That's going to lose a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, now what Luis did there was he wants Hornet to face the wall, so that when he fires those mini Hornets, they go straight into the wall. And it actually reduces lag, because when you have 5 baby Hornets traveling across the screen in their animation like that, it really overclocks the processor on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah. So LuizMiguel wins game 2 with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 3 minutes, 13 seconds. So get your GGs out for LuizMiguel.
And with that, he advances to the finals to face Nero once again. Oh, Lynx did not get the double kick there like I thought he would. I think he had an accidental horizontal dash.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that we haven't talked about is the air dash mechanic in X3, especially when you have the vertical dash involved, is a lot more finicky, because when you're in your up dash animation, if you're holding left or right at all, or if the sensor and the controller catches a left or right input, it automatically cancels the up dash. So you can have your up dash just end if your thumb is not squarely on the up direction. When it comes to horizontal dashes, it's just like before. You can't cancel it. It's this up dash that's really finicky.
It's such a thin line between, all this stuff.
And what's even worse, you can't fire a shot during your up dash. You can fire still when a horizontal dash, but when you're in a vert dash, you can't fire anything. So if you intend to have a weapon out for something, you need to fire it before you initiate the up dash. And that's a really annoying thing. Oh, that hits a big one right there. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite Lynx here on this fight. Like I said, some of the enemies in this game deal a lot of damage, and that was one of them. So you see there? Ooh, okay, that's weird. I guess they track X a little bit. So you need to be facing the same direction Hornet is, I guess, for those Hornets to not come after you. And if they do get a hold of you, they sick on you for, I think, 3 hits, and they alone can kill you. And with that, Lynx finishes.
Takes a sec. He finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 5 minutes, 53 seconds. So definite improvement for him off of game 1 by over a minute.
Yeah.
That middle game. So, see if we can get our runners in for an interview.
I don't know if our South American comrades are up for an interview. Maybe Lynx. I don't know about Luis.
Well, all the same. Well,
I think Luis is. I don't know if Luis has got a new computer or not. I know I know the one he was on before. He really couldn't be in Discord that often, but we'll see. Right.
Well, nonetheless, if you haven't already, give these guys a follow. Put on a really good show for us today. Took a while for this to actually happen, but it's great that it did. I know there were a few minor hiccups and delays getting this race off, but it's been well worth the wait. And now we're down to the home stretch of the tournament with 2 more matches to go. The bronze match between Lynx and Fatso, and the championship match between LuizMiguel and Nero X2 are going to be coming up very soon, so keep an eye out for that on the schedule. Our winner, LuizMiguel, has politely declined an interview. That's fair. We'll give our GGs out to him once again for a terrific play and almost getting a PB on top of that. That was really impressive to see. Got it. So just looking ahead here to the schedule for the rest of the day, real quick, we have Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past qualifier race on SG1 at 3:15 Eastern. Got an Oracle of Seasons tournament race on SG4 at 4 Eastern. Got some Ori randomizer races, including one at 1:30 Eastern on SG3, and on SG2 from 5 to 9:30. You got 3 races in a row, and a portal race on SG1 at 8 Eastern. So there'll be a lot of races going on today. Other than that, yeah. So once again, it doesn't look like we're going to get either fslynx or into the interview room either. So I think we're going to wrap it up here in a minute. Any final thoughts, Justin Incredible?
Nope, I don't have anything. Just look out for those final 2 matches, the finals match and then the 3rd place match, and we'll have this tournament wrapped up.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully, between that and the other Mega Man tournament we've got on at Speed Gaming, which is finally coming to a conclusion soon, there'll be a lot of Mega Man action in the next couple of weeks, I think. So, So thanks to Justin Incredible for filling in for Game 1. Glad to catch the end of Game 1 and to do Game 2. It was a lot of fun. So with that, thanks all for watching, and we will see you all again very soon for the 3rd place and the championship match of this fine tournament. So have a good day, everybody.
Have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching.